When Najee makes a clap, that's when we bring it back. Ew. Yeah, we're here. Are we here? Were those the claps? Did Najee make a clap for me? I think he did. We're back, baby.
Yes.
We back, baby. Oh my God, it's been a minute. I was on a hiatus that felt like a biatus, but I'm back at Bravery Studios for another episode of Act Up with me, Alana J, and I'm so excited for my guest today, y'all. I know he's gonna bring the energy. I already know. You may have seen him at the Apollo Theater.
Come on now.
You may have seen his special on Amazon Prime called
now.
Save Dish.
Come on now.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is Bill the Billionaire Gilbert.
We in the building.
The building.
We in the building, people. What's good? What's good? How you doing, Alana? What's good?
I'm so happy you're
I'm
here.
excited because I'm not gonna lie. We've been trying to do this for a minute.
We have.
You know, it was like,
Several.
hey, the schedules. Yeah, I remember. I was like, I was going. One time I was sick. I had everything going. I'm like, no, I'm still coming.
One time you got booked in another state, and I was like, get your bread, boo-boo.
Gotta get that money.
Make them laugh.
And I confront. I was trying to figure out a way to make it happen. But look, we here now.
We're here.
We're here now.
And I'm so happy that you're my first guest back.
I think that's good. Good energy's coming. That means,
Only.
Let's get it now.
Let's get it. So I already prepped you about what's going to happen.
Yep, I'm ready.
Okay, so we always kick off the episode with my favorite segment, one of my favorite segments, called Palabras. So I'm about to give Bill a bunch of random words, and we're gonna see what his brain thinks about these words
Let's see.
without thinking. All right, are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Najee, we got a minute on the clock. Drop it like it's hot in 3, 2, 1.
Okay.
Sun.
Sun. Antigua.
Antigua.
Because I'm going away, so I want to feel that
Okay.
sun. Good.
Dinner.
I need me a nice steak and shrimp right now.
Yeah, a little surf and turf.
Surf and turf.
Office.
I'm thinking about the TV show The Office.
Okay.
I like that atmosphere. It's real.
A little Corel. Membership.
Membership. Membership has its privileges. Membership has its privileges.
It has its privileges.
Come on now.
Dirt.
She ain't clean. I'm gonna just be honest. She ain't clean. She look dirty.
She ain't clean.
She look dirty.
Editor.
Look, I'm editing myself. I'm not paying. I'm editing this myself.
Addition.
I was good at it. I just couldn't read it. Salad. Don't toss one. I'm just saying. Come on.
On that note, we just made the burger clock explode.
Yeah.
On the notion of not tossing salad.
Yeah.
I love that. You're the first person I think that repeated back most of the words.
Oh yeah.
And I love that active
that
listening.
Okay.
It's active. There is no right or wrong.
Okay, I was just, I think it was me trying to tell myself.
There's literally you were like, let me download this. Let me download this.
Because I thought I had a whole minute for the one, but I was good. I mean,
yeah.
Because I was like gonna take my time, son. But then I was like, no, there's more.
You thought it was gonna be a whole minute
I was
for
like,
one word?
A whole minute she trying to talk about the sun? No, but you good.
You know what's funny? It was actually S-O-N.
It was S-O-N.
It was S-O-N.
Okay.
That's why when you were like, I'm like, Auntie, I was like, oh. Because my first thought was, I have one.
Yeah, I would have, Little Billions. You know what I'm saying? Little Billions.
Little Billion.
That's my Little Billion. You know what I mean? So,
babies.
yeah, that's
I love that.
Yeah,
I love that
shout
so
out to the
much.
Gilbert twins.
Shout them out. We'll talk about it. I mean, a little bit. Not crazy.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's cool.
Okay, Najee, you know about the second segment? We got one more 1 minute. We got one more 1 minute on the clock.
Uh-oh. Another burger.
This is another burger.
Okay.
This is, I don't even eat steak. I mean, beef.
I don't even eat. Okay.
I do eat veggie burgers, though, and turkey burgers. Anyway, this isn't about my dietary restrictions. This isn't about that. This is about you.
Okay.
Okay, so this is where I ask you random questions for a minute straight. So let's see how this goes. It's been a while. Are we ready?
Let's do it.
And in 3, 2, 1. What's your favorite movie?
My favorite movies, I'm about to go to Bad Boys.
Bad Boys.
Yeah.
Okay. Which is your favorite of the Bad Boys? There's several.
Ooh. Two is real for me. I'm gonna go two.
You're gonna go with two.
I'm gonna go.
Was
two.
that when they were in Miami?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
that didn't count as one of the questions, but I just needed to know.
I just want you to know that was another one.
For my own research. Okay. Did you play sports in high school?
Basketball.
You played basketball.
Yes.
Okay. All right. How old are your kids?
7-year-old twins.
Twins.
Yeah, about to turn 8.
A boy and a girl,
Boy and
right?
a girl. Boy and a girl. BJ and I.
You got the package. You got
There
the
you go.
perfect
Come on,
dual
that's it.
package. Okay. What is your favorite? I think you already answered this, but what is your favorite vacation destination?
Oh, my favorite vacation right now, since ever is I'm gonna say Aruba right now, but I'm about to go to Antigua. That might be on the next on the list. I'm there in 2 weeks.
Okay. Have you ever been on a cruise?
Yes.
Have you ever been on a cruise and somebody died?
Oh no.
Apparently that happens all the time.
I know, but
Okay.
That's probably true.
We ended on a dark note. One of my friends, comedian friends, shout out to Leclerc Andre. He educated me on this fact that if you're ever on a cruise and all of a sudden they have like a random like ice cream night or something like that, they're trying to clear out the freezer because somebody died and they need to freeze.
Oh my God.
Because he's done a lot of cruises. He's performed on a lot of cruises.
So they're doing way, yo.
Yeah, apparently like people.
I mean, I've heard of it happening. Like people go to the room and then like they're found in the room and something like. I've heard that happening.
Yeah.
I've thank God I haven't been on there. And the crazy thing, I've been wanting to do some shows on some cruises.
Yeah, me too.
So now I'm sitting there like when the ice cream come out.
Yes,
oh,
exactly. I'm like,
oh God.
Y'all just ruined ice cream for me.
I
That's
can't even eat these, man. Add some sprinkles, man.
Now I'm gonna know.
Yo, what room was he in? Was he on my floor?
All these sprinkles are representing all my tears.
And then what if somebody opens the wrong freezer at the wrong?
That's what I'm saying.
Like you gotta make sure everybody knows freezer B is locked down. Like if I put chicken in it and some ice cream the day before, go get the ice cream. I open it up and Craig is in there on ice.
I'm just saying, how does that pass health inspection?
Yeah, that's another thing. Like we could put ice in bodies. This ice cream in that's not.
Yeah.
Where they do that? What cruise was? What cruise line is he on?
Shout out to Carnival. Shout out to Carnival Cruise Lines. Shout out to Shaq's. One of Shaq's several business streams of income. Gosh, I went on a Carnival cruise. That's the most recent one that I went on, and Shaq's image was just everywhere. I'm like, damn, Shaq, you got the general, the car insurance, the general. You doing everything.
I heard they shut down Forever 21. That was one of his things too.
That was one. Shaq was involved in Forever 21.
Shaq was in Forever 21.
Shaq, you couldn't bring it back.
Come on now, he got
That's
Papa
crazy.
John's. You know what I'm saying?
Papa John's.
Papa John's. Shaq got it all. I'm not mad at him. That he know how to flip that money.
I'm trying to be like Shaq when I grow up.
That's a big fact. I don't think you'll grow to be there, but
no, I won't.
Your pockets can grow there. Though.
Yeah,
I see that.
I see that for both of us.
You feel that? Come on now, you better do it.
Bill the Billionaire.
Come on, that check just didn't clear yet. I hope y'all know.
That's the energy.
Look, I feel it in the
manifest.
Couch.
We gotta manifest.
Manifested. Manifested. You gotta talk about it.
Okay, we are gonna talk about it. Okay, so we are riffing off of some of the musicality in Bill's Saved-ish special on Amazon Prime. Bill, I didn't know you were so musically inclined.
No, you know something? I'm gonna be honest. If I wasn't a comedian, I wish I could sing. I wish I could. Like I play around. Like I host karaoke every week and stuff like that.
Where?
In Hackensack.
I get no invite.
Yeah, every Tuesday I'm hosting.
Every Tuesday. Where's that?
Strap Hanger in Hackensack, New Jersey.
Strap Hanger.
Strap Hanger in Hackensack.
Is that a bar?
It's a bar.
Okay. It sounds dangerous.
Nah, you pull up. You
the
good.
Strap and a hanger. That's a lot.
You can take that a lot of different ways.
The imagery just took me there. I don't know why I'm so dark right now. Anyway, carry on.
I've been doing like spoof songs for like ever. Every year I do the NFL Super Bowl on the couch commercial, and I year before I did Usher. And everybody that's performing the Super Bowl, I remake a song. So this year I did Kendrick Lamar, and I do it all for the different teams that didn't make it. They're on the couch. But I'm always like singing, making spoofs and stuff like that. So when it came to the special, it was stuff that was on my heart, and I wanted to get it out, and it just all came together, and people loved it, and now
I loved it.
It's dope.
It's in my head. Yeah. It's a Saved-ish thing. Come on, but God knows my heart.
Yeah, but God knows my heart.
Listen,
that's real. The live band thing, because I've always loved live bands. So like, shout out to Black Rose. They came out and did their thing. They having that live band feel. I wanted to do that. Like I had for my birthday last year, I had a whole live band. People just came out and sang, and I was singing with the live band. I was like, I'm getting my performance with a band, so that's what that does. So it was
wow, cool. I love that. Can we get Can we get a sample of the Kendrick song?
Oh.
That's the
okay.
most recent one,
That is,
right?
that's back
That's
on
how
this
time
couch.
works.
Back on this couch. And then my kids is on the track too. You know, I put the kids to work since they was born. All right, since they were born, I'll be like this. Because you know, if you put the kids in the video, the views go up.
I mean,
I'm going to be honest. I'll be posting, I got a show, but I post my kid 7,000.
Yep, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You know?
I posted on Threads was like, I'm about to pop out a kid just for the content. Okay.
Look, it's serious. So
it's serious.
That's definitely, you know, what I'll be doing. But you want to hear the sample?
I want to. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, I'm greedy.
I'm trying to think if I know the whole song.
I'm demanding.
Off the bat.
No
pressure. I know one of the songs like "So Save This" though.
Okay, yeah, go
you know
do that.
Saying? You want to hear that one?
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
All right. And this is if y'all don't know, people, a lot of y'all go out on Saturdays, you know, and Sunday is church.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to make a decision. Do I go to church or do I have another drink? Because sometimes I have another drink, and I'm not making it to church. And
you grown?
Yeah, I'm grown. But this song comes to my heart. If y'all know
Blood of Christ.
the Genuine song, "So Anxious," I remixed that, and it goes like this. And you can help me out with the call and response.
Okay.
It's not that hard. All right. I'm gonna go like this. I said 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock.
Still in bed.
Still in bed.
Dreaming about. Going to first service, but I can't get. Out the bed. 'Cause I've been drinking. Thought I could get up, but maybe I'm still. Hungover. Thank you, Lord. For live stream service, 'cause I'm. So saved this.
Ooh.
Pastor might still be preaching, and I'm gonna still be sleeping, 'cause I'm so saved this. Listen, the Save This doors are open. Y'all can come on in. You know, if y'all not making it to church, y'all that's a little bit of So Save This. There's more, but you know, just a little sample.
Little sample.
Bless
Can we get
your
some
heart.
claps? Can we get some
Bless
claps
your
for Bill?
heart on today. Bless your heart.
I was probably all the way off key, but I don't care. I was feeling it.
It's okay.
I was feeling it. We'll cut it if it's trash.
Yeah,
no, but just me, not you. So, okay, saved-ish. Unpack that for us. The title is Saved-ish.
Yeah, the title is called Save This, but God Knows My Heart. And basically what the Save This thing is, that's like my brand. A lot of people know I do a lot of church shows and stuff like that. But when I first started doing churches, I felt like I was just doing churches and I was like, just don't curse and I got to be this person. And I felt like I wasn't being me. And that's one thing that I wanted to do. Like, without God, I wouldn't be here today. You know what I mean? And I want people to know that. I want people to see that in me. But at the same time, I still do have my ish side. You know what I'm saying? You might see me drinking. You might see me smoking the Lord's flower every now and then. You know what I'm saying? But people...
He bestoweth upon you.
Come on, you know? But people like to judge so much. And that, I think, blocks the relationship with them and going to church and with God and stuff like that. But I want to be able to go into that church and like, look, this is me. Only God can get judged around. So that's where I am saved. But I can do have an ish side. And I feel like we all do. You know, everybody's got that side that we slip up and have our mistakes and do certain things like that.
We was born sinners.
Come on now.
We was born with it.
You know, so
all
that's where I feel the whole save this thing. It was me. And now instead of me having to hold myself back, I came into the church and I was able to be myself, speak about everything and respectfully. Like people don't even notice I'm not cursing, but I'm talking about everything. You know what I mean? It can be about sex. It can be about drugs. It can be about everything in life. And there's a way that you can do it that you don't have to curse and you're not disrespecting the church and anything like that. And then I can do it on both sides. Like some people be like, okay, you don't curse. I might go to the show tonight and curse. And they be like, oh, you curse. All right, that's my inside. It happens. That's me. You never know what you're going to get. So that's where the whole save this thing came from.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Was that something that was always part of the trajectory with comedy, or is that something you kind of just...
No, it was something that it was a part of me, but I honestly I'm gonna say within the last 2 years I finally, what they say is, found your voice. You know, I think that's one thing when we as comics, we're out here and just trying to find your voice, and I think I found the lane that I'm not just most successful, but I'm happy with. You know, I just feel like I enjoy doing a church show, big event, rather than I'll go ahead and do some of these comedy clubs. It's just a different vibe, a different feel. But it's just who I am, you know, but I can do it anywhere. And that's the thing that I love, that I don't have to change who I am no matter what room I'm in. And like I said, everybody knows, like, I'm going to get ahead and walk with my purpose. And that's just been my life. And that's the way I'm going with it.
Yeah. When did you start?
I started comedy in
comedy?
2011. So I've been January 11, 2011. So that's why I actually did my comedy special on 11/11. So that's the whole 11/11 thing. So
Numerology.
yeah,
Yes.
Andrew numbers. So I started there at a little open mic, and it's crazy that you just asked that. I found my first set the other day by random, and not that it was terrible.
Well,
You could tell
what device was it on?
I mean, it looked bad. It was on somebody's cell phone, but the quality of the video is not.
I'm like
good.
2011.
Yeah.
What was we doing?
Yeah, I'm
LG?
trying
Was
to
it
think of what phone.
LG? Was it?
It might have been on a
flip
BlackBerry.
phone?
It might have been on somebody's BlackBerry.
BlackBerry.
Did they have cameras on the BlackBerry? Yeah,
I don't remember.
I don't know.
I love my BlackBerry.
Yo, the BlackBerry. Everybody loved the BlackBerry.
I miss my BlackBerry. I felt like an adult with the BlackBerry. I was like, this is just for calls and emails.
Right,
We don't play and BBM.
Yeah.
We don't play games on this phone.
Yeah, the BBM.
I'm grown. I got BBM.
Yep, that's
Okay.
it. But I remember when I just watched that set, and it was like me watching it now. I was just cursing for no reason. I was just cursing, and it was just for me watching. I was like, ugh, But honestly, to watch it and to see the growth,
right?
And I see people that start today and be like, hey, this is like that night. You couldn't tell me anything. I was.
Yeah.
I made it. You know what I'm saying? But now me watching them like, bro, easy killer.
Yeah, I mean, I be feeling that way seeing sets from like a few weeks ago sometimes. I'm like, you know?
But sometimes like but I even seen you grow when I came to this thing you did in the city, you know what I'm saying? And then watching, I'm like, even though you was dope there, I was like, okay. And then when I see you go, I'm like, oh, she been working, she been doing the whole thing. So
that.
I just love to see people's growth, and even within myself, because if you're not growing, you don't need to be doing this.
No,
you know?
1000%.
And then, like I said, it takes time. Like I said, I feel like I just finally found my voice within the last 2 years, and I've been doing it 14 years now.
Right.
You know, so it's just I'm still learning and growing. It's just now the direction I can get ahead and going because I know my voice, and you know the confidence behind you is real too.
It
is.
It
If
is.
you ain't got that confidence, it's crazy.
I feel like a lot of people don't know the amount of repetition, the amount of reps you have to put in. Because, people watch stand-ups, right? And I feel like it's one of the most common things. People are like, I could do that.
Yeah.
You know?
And I'm like, even for me, like when I did it and I was doing it and all that kind of stuff, I try to tell people it's a craft. You know what I mean? People think I can just get on stage and, just do it. And yeah, it's cool. At the cafeteria table is cool, but it's different because you got to know each crowd. You got to know it's different things to it. I know people that's funnier than me. We just sitting in here, but we put us in the stage in front of all these different people. That funny's gone.
Right.
So it's actually a craft that goes, to it. And then I'm going to be honest with you, and it's something that I've
It's like a magic trick almost.
Yeah. But then you know what I say? I have so much respect for comedians because we bring people so much joy and the stuff that's going on in the world right now. And we're sitting here bringing them laughter, joy, da-da-da-da. But those comedians, a lot of those comedians are going through a lot of personal stuff that you don't even get to address.
Preach.
You know what I'm saying? So, and it's like they can be in their darkest place. I have been in one of my darkest spots, but you'll never know it.
Right.
When I'm like, you never did. But then that ride home.
Because it's alchemy.
Yeah,
You transmute it.
Like when you get on that stage, I don't want to get off. Because once you get off, it's back to real life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Once that everybody's like, hey, good show, let's take a picture. Get in that car, it's like this. All right, no longer Bill the Billionaire, you are William.
You are William.
You are William.
You are William.
But that's why I just respect. That's why I'm so sensitive when it comes to people that want to do comedy. I say, don't get on that stage unless you really got something to say and you really respecting the craft. Like, don't take advantage of this thing that a lot of people out here trying to give they all to go ahead and do. So I think that's just real important.
1,000%.
Yeah.
1,000%. Damn, that was so deep. I'm like, all right, so 2011. I saw in your special, there's a clip of your mom. Remind me your mother's name again?
Lorna.
Lorna
Matt. Yep.
Shout out to
Shout out,
Lorna.
mama.
Your mom is a queen. I always loved seeing her because I was on the step team with Bill's sister Crystal. Honestly, I had a thought. I was like, maybe I should have Crystal come on the show too. But I was like, no, I can do it separate.
We can get them all though. That'd have been the backstory. You can hear the childhood stories with me and my sisters.
Yes.
So that'd be dope.
But anyway, shout out to Crystal. A happy belated birthday, boo.
Come on, May babies.
And I guess the interviewer was asking your mom, like, did you know that Bill was gonna do this? Did you see this for him? And she was like, I always saw something. Him and Crystal were always entertaining us. Because you talk, in your special, you talk about your daughter. You talk about your daughter and your son and your
my
nieces and
nephew,
nephews doing a performance.
And that
your
was
son
us.
being like, damn, we trash.
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
Yo, but and it's crazy because a lot of my comedy, it's real life. These things like really happen. Like I try to tell people.
The truth is stranger than fiction.
Yeah, and it's crazy because I looked at them and it's funny because I used to get every Sunday we had Sunday dinner. It was me, my sister, Joey, and his sister. So we would get together and Sunday dinner, I was like, yo, let's go in my room. I would put on Boys to Men and we would have to perform on Boys to Men. I'm talking about dances. My mom, she owns a dancing school.
Right,
so she has
5-star.
all the costumes. So one of the costumes, she had this like gold jacket, a little shiny jacket. So I put the gold jacket on. I was Michael. Michael. So we used to get ahead and perform and do all that kind of stuff. So it was just like I always loved to entertain, making people laugh, doing this, setting up shows. All right, everybody sit down, coming to the stage. Da, 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 da. I used to have. It was like I used to in my head used to walk around like I was a celebrity like this. Hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
By myself doing all these. It was just something that I just always did, and now it's kind of like, yo, this is what you've been doing since you was a little kid. It's just you get paid for it now.
It's basically like a return to yourself.
Yeah. It is like, wow. And I never knew because coming up, I thought I was going to the league to play basketball. I'm thinking I'm going to play ball. I had all these scholarships, and I ended up getting sick and lost all my scholarships. Pretty much almost lost my life. They told my parents like I had meningitis. So
wait,
that was in high school at PC.
You and Crystal had meningitis at the same time?
No, not at the same time. She ended up getting it later. Remember she had?
Yes. Yeah. I was thinking, that memory came back to me so vividly on my way here.
I was in college when she had, and that's why when I was in college, that's the fastest I've ever got from Delaware to New Jersey because I know how serious it was.
Yeah.
I had the bacterial. She had I had the virus. I had the bacterial. She had the virus. So they give her the medicine. It was good.
Because we all had to take medicine.
Everybody used to tell them, we had to take the little pill. The pee was changing colors.
Yeah, it was like red or some shit. Like your pee was red. It was wild.
So, just going through that, I thought my life was something, going a whole another direction. And then when I went to college, I was playing ball, but everything wasn't same after surgery. And I told my mom I wanted to go out to this like acting convention. It was like for actors, models, and did that. And that's when I finally had said like, I always thought about acting because I was acting first. Before I started doing comedy. I wasn't thinking about doing comedy. I'm like, I want to act.
Honestly, me neither.
Yeah,
I started same.
But I was doing, background work and working on all these different films and stuff like that. But I just felt like I wasn't being able to be seen. And then I said, I was hosting shows for, shout out to Omar Thompson, and he used to have a show, and it was like a little karaoke before or whatever. I would host it. I'm making jokes here and there, coming to the stage. And then Marshall Brandon, shout out to him, he came to me and said, yo, when you going to stop hiding your comedy behind hosting? I said, nah, that's what y'all do. He was like, nah, you need to go ahead and do that.
Yeah.
And ever since I've done it, I've just been, running with it, since then. So it's just dope. But I felt like being a comedian, it's just you on that stage. So those stories, they can turn into the Bernie Mac show, the Jamie Foxx show. And that was where I looked at Jamie Foxx as somebody that I wanted my career to kind of go like, give me a couple comedy specials, I can act, but I never wanted to be typecast. I want to be able to be the funny comedian, a funny guy in the movie, but I want to still be able to make you cry in a movie and stuff like that. So that's why one of those, that's one of the people I always looked at, as far as a comedy career and doing everything, and not being typecast. So that's something I had looked at and just been running ever since.
So have you been doing any acting?
I did. Well, yeah, I did.
You did a play recently.
I did a play. Yeah, I did a play.
I saw that.
Yeah,
I didn't see the play, but I saw you did one.
And that was dope because I recently I did shout out to the whole Liquor Run. We did a whole movie for Liquor Run. It's on Amazon also. Liquor Run, the movie, Split Star, a whole bunch of comedians from Jersey is on there. So that was great, and did that. And it was like, okay, I played a pastor, wild pastor. He used to be in the streets.
Oh, snap.
And it was crazy. But it turned out, and not saying it wasn't a big role, but it wasn't like one of the main characters. But that character that you don't forget?
Right.
Yeah, you're going to remember him in that movie. So that's why everybody, was in that. But then I got a call from my friend Chuck Burke, another comedian. He's a writer, worked for the Chappelle Show, and asked me to be in a play. And I said, yeah, of course, I want to get out and act. But he said, it's only you and another character. I said, excuse me? It's like just two of us. And literally...
That's how plays be. That's how plays be sometimes.
We literally had like maybe 24 hours of rehearsal time and to run 2 shows. And when I mean, it extended I had to really work at this, but it was able to show my range. I was able to make them laugh and cry. When somebody came to me after and was like, literally, you had me laughing, but you brought me to tears. And that right there was like chilling for me. Because that's the, I don't care if it's just one person, that's, definitely what I wanted. So I was able to get ahead and do that. So that was definitely dope.
So it stretched you.
Yeah, it's definitely made me stretch. And not that I didn't think I can do it, I just felt like I haven't been doing it for so long. And especially it's just, when you got other people, I remember these lines, but when it's pretty much you and one person, there's no air. That's just y'all going out. It's a lot of monologue. There's a lot, so, and to still sell everything that was there, it was important. So it was dope.
And 24 hours of rehearsal. How long was the play?
It was about an hour.
Okay, so 24 hours of rehearsal for an hour-long play is not.
And it was
it's not that much rehearsal. No. I've done hundreds of hours of rehearsal.
And that's what people at 25, listen, and we got life on top of that. And, we was grinding out on our own. But I love, give me that script. It was everywhere with me. You got to have that script everywhere with you. And once you love what we do, it's like, December 15th, 2024, I left my job just to do this full time.
Well, congratulations.
And,
congratulations, fuck that job. Sorry.
Yeah, definitely. I don't advise it, but listen.
Oh, you don't advise leaving the job?
No. And I joke about it.
Yeah.
But I think it's one of the best things I've ever done.
Yeah.
It's hard. You know what I mean? It ain't for the weak. I said it ain't for the weak, but I know during that whole year, since it's been a year, I planted a lot of seeds. And I feel like now you're starting to see a lot of those, seeds start to flourish. And then, like I said, I didn't do it to chase the money. Like, the money's going to come. But now to see my growth and where I'm at and the way I'm able to get ahead and work is definitely worth it. And, if this is what you want to get and do, like, there's no plan B. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, this is it. And just going for it, steam ahead with it. So it's dope.
1,000%. Damn. Drop a bomb on him. Drop a bomb on him. That's very inspiring. That's very inspiring. And congratulations on theater's not easy.
No.
I think, obviously I got, well, I don't know if it's obvious, but you went to my going away show. So you knew that I left to go to Louisiana to get my master's. And that was the first time I did 6 plays in a year. Through school. And that was the first time I was really immersed in a real rehearsal process. And, getting presented with 150 pages of script, just like, how am I going to do this? But like, you go piece by piece and it's putting it in your body. It's putting it in your body. It's putting it in your body over and over and over again. And the blocking, because, even the physical placement of where you go helps you remember.
It's crazy how you it's the marks and everywhere you got to be. And then even when you're saying lines, like, shout out to Chuck Berg. He was a great director and, actor, and helping you get that out of you. And you wouldn't think of certain things. Like, how sometimes you got to say, let's say you got to say why. You got to say why twice. So you'd be like, why? Why?
Right.
He's like this. Nah. Why's got to be different.
Exactly.
That each why has to have a why. That why. And I would never think about it like that. So then when you have that director that's able to direct you and pull those things out of you, and you're able to go there, it's just amazing. And I like acting. That it's a craft. Like, it wasn't Billy on that stage. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had to become the character, and that's when I learned like how acting was. I remember I did a monologue for my theater class in college. And I got an A on this monologue. I went to my acting coach, my agent at the time, and I was like, yo, got an A.
Yeah.
She was like, do the monologue right now. I did it. I'm thinking I killed it. She was like, your teacher doesn't know what they're doing. She goes, your teacher's terrible.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Alana J, and I'm here to tell you about all the magic that is happening at Bravery Studios, New Jersey's #1 podcast recording studio. At Bravery Studios, you handle all the talking and they do the rest. That's it. Seriously, all you have to do is show up and shine. Yes, honey, work. With 3 different filming locations, there's a perfect space for every type of podcast. From cozy chats to high-energy shows, Bravery has got you covered. But wait, there's more. Bravery Studios hosts monthly events and podcast gatherings, perfect for networking and connecting with fellow creators. So what are you waiting for? Head over to Bravery Studios and let's make some podcast magic together. Do it. Come on. You know you want to. You know you want to.
Your teacher is enabling you.
Sorry, but you got an A for that? So I was like, what?
Yeah.
And then she was like, yo, what's this person's background story?
Mm-hmm.
And she didn't say what, but she was like, oh, where's he live?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I don't know what they're saying there.
Right.
No, where's he live? So then I started making everything up. And then she started asking me questions about this character. Now, mind you, there's no right or wrong answer, but I'm building this character up that all of a sudden it turned into kind of being funny to where it got real serious. And she said, stop, do the monologue now. And when I mean I did that monologue, and by the time I was done, I was crying and I was shaking. And I was like, she's like, now that's an A. And it was different. And ever since then, I was like, nah, if you feel like yourself, you ain't doing it. You got to dig into. So that's why I see when those actors be like, yeah, I took a month and I was just doing this. Like diving in, it's scary though. It's scary when you get out of yourself. When you stop, when they say cut, that's why you see people just be sitting there, don't say nothing to, because they're still in that moment. It's not one of those cut, I can go. No, that's real, and that's that feeling. And then you like, all right, I need a minute. I got to stay here because that's the character that you're in, and
it doesn't leave just because the lights come up. It doesn't mean that it leaves your body. You know, it takes some time, and that's another thing too. Like after a stand-up show, I love when people come up to me.
Yeah.
After a play, I never wanted to talk to anyone.
Yeah.
After a play, all I wanted to do was go home and lie down.
Yeah.
Like, have you heard of the play Dear Evan Hansen? Did you hear of that one? Okay. Well, basically, it's a very intense story. The lead character, it's there's like suicide involved in one. Anyway, one of my friends knows the lead, a guy that played the lead, and literally on the weekends, he could not leave his home. He could not leave his apartment because again, just because the lights come up and the curtains come up, it doesn't mean that you exit that world. Like it can take some time. So
to get back, like I need a minute. Yeah.
It can be,
especially in how deep you want to commit to it. And then because one of my things when I told Chuck when he asked me to do the play, I said, listen, I'm willing to do it, but I need you to work with me. Because I'm not saying I need it because I don't want to make you look like this is just two people. I can't be this. There's no room to bomb. You know what I mean?
Right. There's nowhere to hide.
There's nowhere to hide when it's just two people. So I was like, he said, "No, I believe in you. I know what you do. I've seen you. I believe in you." And I'm like, "Yo, you believe in me? I'm gonna do it." And that right there showed me like, "Nah, you do have that range to get and do it." But I love that atmosphere. But you gotta dive in. You gotta really dive in
with the crafting, the backstory, and all that. That plus, because for me at this point, I do find acting easier than stand up. And I think it's simply because you put all of your focus and energy on your scene partner, on the other person. Like that is the most important person in the room. Yeah. And all you have acting is reacting. Yeah. Right? Like you have your circumstances, you know who you are, you know the backstory. But once it's time to go, it's you reacting to what they're giving you. It's a give and take, give and take, give and take, give and take. So, and you can disagree with me on this. I feel like with stand-up, it's like as an actor, you are affected. You have to be affected by everything that they're giving you. Yeah. And as a stand-up, you are more responsible for being the affector.
Sure, yeah. You have to cause the effect to that crowd.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that?
I agree with it because it's like without the effect of them laughing or doing whatever, look, you're all by yourself.
Yes.
It's like this. All right, that didn't work. All right, let's try this. You know what I mean? You got to get in and try a whole nother situation. So I agree. I agree with that because comedy.
You still have to react to like everything else. There's just so many balls. At the same time,
you have to react. And you have to react to yourself, and then you got to know how to react when they don't react, that you don't lose them. Yes. So it's different things that you got to do.
There's more balls in the air with stand-up than there are with stage acting, I feel.
Because you just got to stick to the script.
You got to stick to the script.
Comedy, anything can happen. Somebody can get in and be walking through, dropping a whole bunch of drinks. You know what I'm saying?
Right, and you gotta...
It can be a drunk right here doing whatever, So it's like you never know. You always got to be on your toes.
Yeah.
That's one thing I had to learn. But you know what helped me get better at that is hosting. Hosting was where I when I first started, I started a room because I said if I'm not getting booked, I'm gonna make my own room.
Yeah.
And I'm a host, and then just bring people up. So when it's not good, I'm like, hey, coming to the stage.
Right.
You know what I mean? But at the same time, I was able to get that cadence with the crowd when certain things is going on, knowing how to move and being comfortable. Because a lot of times when a lot of newer comedians, when they start hosting, the first thing they do is go right into their set as a host.
Right.
It was like they just like, nah, you gotta be able to talk to the crowd, bring them in, set it up, set the
You
thing
have
up.
to set everybody
You gotta
up.
set the room up.
That's literally the host's job.
Mm-hmm.
It's the host's job to set up the lineup for success.
Yeah, you have
It's
to
really,
because now
I hate
you don't
it when
want to have to
people
come.
don't do that.
Yeah, because I hate being the comedian. I got to come up and I got to rehost the room.
Right.
Because you didn't do this. Now you cutting into that time. You know what I mean? Just
Yep.
to set the thing. So it's like it's different. Like I said, it's a craft.
Yeah,
It's a whole
1,000%.
craft.
Okay, let's fast forward a little bit. Well, actually, let's double down on this real quick. What do you think, if anything, that you took away from that experience doing the stage play that you could translate, that you wound up translating into improving stand-up?
I think the like a cadence, your timing is real important. I know for me, I used to do, we call it stepping on your jokes. You know what I'm saying? So
Yes.
people are laughing and you getting so excited that they're laughing. You out here putting another joke right on top of that. So they don't got enough time to do that. So within the play, you know, you have to let that beat go. You know what I'm saying? You got to let that time, that space for everything to hit, you know? So now I like to call it let it marinate. Like, you know, I love when I'm doing comedy and I'm just slow cooking. I can just take my time and it's like, it's in the slow cooking. They still laughing. I ain't even got to say nothing right now.
Right.
When you got it in that slow cooking, you just know they just eating out your hand now and you can just work with it. So I think that timing is really in the patience. Before it was more thinking about, all right, I got to get this joke in. I got to go get this joke in. So I think patience.
I struggle with that still sometimes.
You know, sometimes we'll be right on top. And
Right.
then,
Well, I only have 8 minutes. Like, what,
yeah,
you know what
exactly.
I mean? Because not for nothing, I got spoiled going down south. I was doing 15, 20 regularly.
Yeah.
Coming back up here, you're getting, I mean, especially in New York,
Yeah.
you're getting 7, 8, 10. You know what
what
I
I
mean?
mean-
I got 6 the other day, and I'm
now-
just like,
yo,
shit.
you go from doing this special, right? So when I recorded the special, I think altogether for the special, before we chopped some stuff out that I wanted to keep for later, I think I did about like 50-something minutes. So it came out, the special was like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do 45 minutes, but then going to the room, they was like, all right, you got 8 minutes. And I'm like, 8 minutes? I got jokes I got one joke that's going to be 3 to 4. You know what I'm saying? I can
Right.
get ahead and put it all together. Because one thing I always learned, well, not that I learned, that I watched and I saw people, I'm like, yo, this dude went on stage and talked about one thing for the entire time. And it was up there maybe 20 minutes, half. I'm like, nah. And it was good. It was good. You know what
It
I'm
was
saying?
good.
So I'm like,
So this
yo,
is a compliment.
Yeah, it's a compliment.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, yo, how do you talk about one thing
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
so long, but it be funny?
Right.
You know, and it's like, yo, you got to learn. That's another thing. You know, I always like to challenge myself with certain things. And especially, you know, about open mics. It's a whole bunch of comics sometimes. So it's like, they be in there. You don't get the reaction you want.
Oh, yeah.
because-
Open mics are not
but now-
indicative of how good your material is
but
most
now,
of the time.
Yeah, most of the time.
Yeah.
But now what I do is I try to get ahead and go into it as, all right, now I got to make all those comedians laugh.
Right.
They're not here to laugh. I need to make, that's my challenge now. It's not the challenge if I know I got to make them, because once you can get them going, you're
Right.
like, okay, you got something. Because
Exactly.
they don't be in there to laugh.
No.
They're in there to get on stage.
They're in for
so,
themselves,
so
yeah.
now for my challenge, because then I'm like, I ain't coming back. I ain't doing this for 5 minutes. Nah, but you got to get ahead and go in there. Those are the people you got to grab. Because when you go to the regular comedy club, you know that one person that want to sit there with the, that's
Or
the one.
be in the front row.
Yeah, that's the one that by the end of the night you're gonna be laughing.
Yeah.
That's one of my biggest things. Like when I see somebody that's don't feel like they want to be there, oh no, we gonna get you.
Yeah.
We gonna get you. That's just like a challenge I get, and you know,
That's a
do
good.
sometimes to keep, because you know a lot of people I've seen a lot of comics come into spots and be like, oh, ain't nobody here. I ain't doing this,
Right.
this and that. And I've been in those rooms and got booked out of that 5 people room.
Yeah.
When you didn't want to really do no work. You know what I mean?
But
So
I
it's like-
did.
but I went in there and just went in. And
Right.
it turns out to something. You never know who's in what room, who knows
Nope.
who. So that's one of those things I never want. It can be one night that you've ever seen me and
Mm-hmm.
you hear, yo, Bill the Billionaire, I seen him with this joint. He's trash. Because I was out here like, nah, I don't
Right.
wanna do- you know what I mean? So that's why
Exactly.
I make sure no matter where you go, you're going to leave. Oh, no, he funny. You know, I didn't see a lot of them but he funny. You know, that's something that I think we got to get and think about. It's not about, it's not always going to be them 100 people.
Every stage needs to be MSG.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact.
Every stage needs to be MSG.
And there's a way to do it. People are like, well, I ain't getting paid. I ain't do this. There's a way to do it. There's a way to, I'm going to leave you with enough, and I got enough material to be like, all right, y'all good. Y'all gotta pay for the rest. You know what I mean? Y'all gonna want more.
Give them a taste.
Yeah, give them a little sample. You know what I mean? A little sample something. A little sample.
Little sampy stamp.
That's it. Little samp.
That reminds me. Have you ever been to the UK? Have you ever been to London?
No.
I had the privilege of going out there during grad school as well to do a play, right? But while I was doing this play rehearsal, oh my God, I wanted to stab my eyes out in rehearsal. Okay. I'm just being honest. Yeah, I'm just being honest. It was a very grueling process, that rehearsal process. So I was like, if this is what it's gonna be from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., I'm doing stand up when I get out. Yeah. So the UK is very organized. Everything is on a spreadsheet. Everything. Really? Everything in London, everything in Scotland, everything in Ireland, it's all on one spreadsheet. If you ever go there, I can send it to you. And so I was just in rehearsal, copy, paste, and I wound up doing like 20, 30 spots.
Really?
Yes. So one of them was an open mic like that. It was in a bar, you know, and every comic got on stage. It was in London. Yeah. Every comic got on stage and just dragged the mic and dragged it, talked shit, you know what I mean? And I got, it wasn't even a stage, right? Yeah. I got up to the corner.
Stood up in the corner, yeah.
I was in the corner. I was in the microphone's corner. And, you know, just performed. And one of the comics found me on socials and he was like, dude, you performed like there were 200 people in that room. And I was like, look, I was just happy to be there. You don't even know the day I had, you know? This British dude corrected me for 8 hours a day. Don't do this. Put the pen there. I was just like, oh my God. Anyway,
I got to get this out.
Right. Yeah. So like
sometimes you got to do that. Like that. And
I was like, I'm going to make it work for me. Yeah. I'm going to in the play, whatever. That's a whole other story. But we did it. We got it done. No, and that's that about that play.
That's dope. But I mean, I think that the stage, that outlet is just, when we can get on set, like we were just talking before we started the show, like, yo, there's a show here. I remember when I first started, we used to go to one show and be like, yo, they got another show over here. We out. Like, I remember like, yeah, I can be able to see your set because we got to go. Like, I was out here in these streets, like going spot to spot, getting around.
Did you start in New York or New Jersey?
New York.
Okay, so your first mic was in New York.
Yeah, my first mic was in New York.
Do you remember what room?
It was down at West 1st Street. I don't even think the thing is there no more, to be honest.
Yeah, a lot.
It was like the Wild Bull or something like that. It had a big bull in the
okay.
But you know, I was all over in New York, and that was crazy thing because I'm from Jersey. I mean, I went to high school in New York for a minute and came back to Jersey, back and forth.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I went to Cardinal Hayes in the Bronx.
So,
yeah, so I was
okay,
there.
Hayes.
Yeah, Hayes. You know, come on, make the concourse.
And then you went. And then you went to PC.
Then I went to PC. Yeah.
So how many years were you at Hayes?
2 years.
Okay, so you did half and half.
Yep. So
all right.
That city championship basketball in Cardinal Hayes, my first year, freshman year.
Okay.
We don't talk about it. But
baller.
Yeah, so we was in New York, and then I came to Jersey because Capone had put me on. So I was working with Capone, and shout out to him. He had me my first 6 months. I was at Caroline's, 6 shows with him at Caroline's. This is like my first 6 months in comedy. So it was just
wild.
dope. You know, Caroline's was
legendary.
Legendary. You know what I mean? So I ended up doing that with him, and then I'm in Jersey, and it was only me. It was me from out here, Derek Keener from Texas, comedian Burpee from North Carolina, and Top Flight from Philly. So I was the only person from like the New York, New Jersey area, and this is my 6 months. So nobody was messing with me, booking me and stuff like that. I came to Jersey, I ain't know no Jersey comedian. So I was doing a show at Videos, and I was bringing all the New York comedians to T-Net when I've been doing the shows out there. And the people like, yo, who is this dude built up in Jersey doing shows? Like, who the heck is this person? So that was crazy. Like, everybody thought I was from New York. But yeah, I started in New York, and that's where we used to get ahead and be bouncing around.
Right.
I was with Nick Carter and Takara Williams. Shout out to Takara. So that's how me and Takara, you know, we started together, and that's how I started doing some of our tour dates with her and stuff now. So it's a journey.
It's definitely a journey.
And you got to enjoy it. Like,
you do.
Some people want to get in this comedy game and just make it, but you gotta put some work in. Like,
oh my God. Absolutely.
There's some time in it. Like, I'm still putting in work, so it's not like I'm there, but I'm at a different place now than when I was when I started. But I just love
You have more skill.
Yeah, I just love the process, and I love the journey of it, the growth of it, and then the real comedians that you can get ahead and meet, and then you just work with whoever is out there.
1,000%.
Yeah.
We got to talk about the Apollo.
Oh man, Apollo is.
We got to talk about you performing at the legendary Apollo. How did that happen? Tell us the story.
Well, what's crazy is shout out to Bob Sumner. Y'all know Bob Sumner from BT Def Comedy Jam. Bob's been doing it for years. He's seen them all. If you know about him, Bob has seen them, and they've been doing the Apollo Comedy Theater for I think 15 years now that they've been doing it, and literally I put this on my vision board maybe like 4 years ago. And I was like, I want to be on that. Like the Apollo, everybody's been there. If you go back and look at all the legends that been on there, everybody shining, rubbing the wood, all that. So one night, new comedian Kev was performing at an open mic that Bob runs. So I was gonna go. Shout out to GL Douglas, she hosts. So I ended up just going. I know Bob. I've done shows for Bob before and stuff like that. But I'm not one of those like, hey, can I get on the show? Can I do this and that? And I'm like, when they ready for you, they gonna come. You know what I mean? And I remember Bob saying, keep doing what you're doing. I see what you're doing. I just left it alone. Went to this open mic and went to just get on stage. I went to go support somebody, and then GL was like, yo, you getting on stage. I'm like, nah, I was just coming to chill.
Yeah.
She's like, no, you getting on stage now. Bob's seen me before. So they call this the workout gym. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna sit here and be doing.
Where is
this?
This
Is in Irvington.
Okay.
So so I go and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do this open mic. I do the open mic. I'm doing all new jokes, testing stuff out.
Yeah, like using it as a mic.
This is a gym, so I'm in there testing stuff out. Do my thing. Stuff is hitting or whatever. Get off. Bob talked to everybody after. Show's over. Bob's sitting there talking about, you got to go ahead and go through things, this and that. And he's like, yo, and this show right here just brought somebody to the Apollo. He's like, yo, Bill, you on the Apollo. I said, what? I was like, what? Like, and this is another example of always being ready.
Yeah.
Always being ready. Because, like, if I would have came in there, I could have done my old material, whatever. But I came in there, had stuff to do that I've been working on. I said, all right, this is the time to go ahead and do it. And just bringing it just like that. I got booked for the Apollo. Next thing you know, Bob's like, yo, they're going to be calling you. The Apollo called me, sent me my contract. Next thing you know, I'm in the city. I'm looking. My name was on the daggone marquee out there. So I'm like,
it was.
What? And I'm going to be honest. I had that thing packed in there. All right, another stuff. But I had my people came out. My people came out. But that experience, that like rush, it was just amazing. And just to be on that platform and to be seen like that. I was on WBLS. Shout out to Jeff Fox. I was on.
They interviewed you?
Yeah, Jeff Fox. Me
That's
and Jeff Fox.
lit.
Yeah, so Jeff Fox called me. I did a whole little bit with him, and he's gonna be at the Apollo. So I had all that kind of stuff on there. So it was dope. You know what I mean? So to have that experience, to be on 125th Street at the Apollo, Michael Jackson's name was up there before. You know what I'm saying? So I was up there with some people. Some big
Just a
names.
few.
Just a few.
You may or may not have heard of them.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, for me to get and have that, it was just an experience. My family to see it. And I think that's one of the biggest things. My parents, I'm blessed to still have my parents here. My family is still here. So to have my kids was at my comedy special. You know what I mean? So for your kids to actually be in the building I was able to do my comedy special in front of my kids. Like, those are the things that I want y'all to understand, why daddy's got to go out and do this. And when daddy's out here trying to get ahead and make his dream come through, so I can just give y'all the world. And I want them to get ahead and just, be able to see that and inspire them. I want to inspire people, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, the same way I did it, it can be somebody else. So it's not, and I feel like there's room for all of us to get ahead and be there. And that's where a lot of people, I feel,
I agree,
become so selfish with it. It was like, oh no, I can't do this because, like, how could I hold back something that I know would bless you? You know what I'm saying? So if I know something for you, look, this is what's going on. Because guess what? As soon as that happened for you and that work out, later on, she'll spin the block. And if it wasn't, that wasn't for you. But I just feel like to have my family here, my parents being able to get ahead and see that, it was just, I'm making them proud. It was like, all right, thank you. Something's happening.
Yeah.
He been saying he wanted to do this, and they've been behind me, and like, it ain't been nothing but God. So like that was just an amazing experience, and I'm thankful for it. And it's, things are coming, working in the works now for the future. So it's definitely.
You are reaping what you've been
Come
sowing.
on now. Come on now. Manifested. Manifested.
Manifested.
Let them know.
Has
See?
your family always been behind you with the comedy?
Yeah. And
Okay.
I'm gonna be 100. I'm gonna put my dad on blast.
Put him on blast.
I'm gonna put my dad on blast. Shout out to
Papa
my
Gilbert.
Because me and my dad, we played basketball. Like he had me playing ball. Like I was up school days, 6 o'clock in the morning, going to the gym, shooting. Like every day, we up in the morning. Like we trained for this to get to that next level. So once
discipline.
I lost all that, it was kind of like crazy. So I remember me telling my dad and them like, I'm gonna be doing acting and doing whatever. My dad was like, okay, yeah, cool. But I knew it. I felt like inside he was like, dude, you're supposed to be playing ball. You know what I'm saying? He want to be funny. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it wasn't like he supported and came out. My parents have always been supporters and stuff like that. But it's just like I was working for the Parks Department and doing all this. And I told my dad from day one, I was like, yo, I'm not gonna be here forever.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad was like, yeah, I said that too. Ended up being here 40-something years.
Oh, damn.
And I was like, that won't be me. I said that will not be me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna retire. I would every time I was here, I was telling people, I'm like, I'm not gonna be here for long.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not. I did 11 years. I did 11 years there altogether, and I was like, no, I'm out. And
This is the job you left in December?
Yeah.
Wow.
And
Okay.
my last day of work, I wore a hoodie and says I left my job to go to work. And it had billionairecomedy.com on it, and it had my mic joint or whatever because I
You
feel
got
like,
those for sale? I need one of them.
Come on,
I left my job to go to work. I
come on,
need
you
that.
see that? Yeah, that right there.
Manifested. Manifested.
Yo, that's why I got my shirt that says I prayed for this, and on the back it says manifest because everything I say I want to get ahead and do, I got to speak that stuff into existence.
1,000%.
And if I don't believe it, then
will?
what are we doing? You know what I'm saying? I know what I'm supposed to get ahead and be doing. Like I know what God has me, what my purpose is, and it's coming. You just got to get ahead and believe in it and enjoy the process. And everything that God promises you is going to happen. Like that's like my shirt now. I got the 2 Corinthians 5-7. Like walk by faith, not by sight. That's what I live by. Like that's really my life. I got it tatted on my back. Like I really live by. Like I'm not worried about stuff. Like it can look crazy. My life looks crazy right now.
Yeah.
But I know if God can bring you to it, He can bring you through it. You know. So that's real. That's real.
Wow. I'm gonna be honest. I needed to hear all that because life is looking crazy, right? You get it.
Yeah,
you get
I
it.
get. Trust me.
You get it. You know. Yeah. So I'm very grateful that you are the person that wound up sitting on this couch today.
First show back. I mean, look,
as my first show back.
I think
really
other people need it. You know, we all need this.
1,000%. I mean, and I feel like we gotta get out of here in a few. So I kind of gave you the rundown of what we do at the end, and I feel like you kind of already did part of it, but I'm gonna let you take it on your own journey. So the name of the show is Act Up with Alana J. The whole point is that we're trying to take action to ascend, to level up, to elevate, learn, laugh, level up. Okay?
Come on now.
So how do you recommend people act up today?
Act up. I'm gonna tell you this. Stop waiting. Stop waiting on people. You waiting for people to get ahead and open doors for you. Create your own door. Create your own lane. Invest in yourself. That's the thing. Invest in yourself. I feel like a lot of us are waiting for calls. That comedy special, I ain't gonna front. I was when I said I was gonna do it, I wanted 100 people at my comedy special. I said that's all I wanted, and we sold out 2 weeks before the special, and over 250 people. And I remember the Art House Theater. Shout out to them. They called me and said, "Yo, you sold out. We got people on a waiting list. You should do another show." So they want me to do on Friday, and I'm like, I gotta pay for that. If I don't sell this joint out, it's all coming to me.
Right.
And I'm like, I called my manager. I said, yo, think we should do it? He said, let's do it. Ended up selling that one out. And that was all my team. We invested in this thing. I edited the whole special myself.
Wow.
You know, and, work with my team. My whole team, that was just us. Because
And that was Jersey. I seen some of those names. I was like, James Feemster. That sounds familiar. He went to PC, right?
He went to PC,
Oh, he's your manager.
Yeah.
Okay, James.
Yeah,
okay.
So shout out to him. If y'all might
Josh
know him.
Passaretti.
Yeah, Josh, T-Neck, Big Josh.
The neck was
out
heavy
here.
on that, all them credits.
It was crazy. So to do that, and those is like, look, it's the home team. Look, I'm taking a risk at something. I need y'all to get ahead. Do y'all believe in what I do? They said yes. And I said, okay, let's get ahead and do this. If we can do this, y'all gonna ride with me. And they helped bring my vision to life. But if I waited for somebody to say, hey, you want to do something on Amazon? I'd still be sitting right here. You know what I mean? If you would have told me 2 years ago that I was going to get and have an Amazon person, I'd be like, nah. But the crazy thing is I wrote all this stuff out. Everything that I've done now, I wrote out. Like I do this thing called the 369 method.
Okay.
Read it 3 times in the morning, 6 times in the afternoon, and 9 times at night. I did it for 30 days. I'm gonna have a comedy special November 11th. Wrote all the stuff that I was gonna go ahead and do.
Like an affirmation.
Yeah, just wrote it.
So
yeah.
you write the same statement
Same
3 times, then 6 times, then 9
in
times.
the morning, 6 in the afternoon, 9 times, and I did that for 30 days.
Okay.
I got like little notebooks.
Yeah.
They're like my little Bibles.
Mm-hmm.
And when I can go back, and when I'm down, I'm going through things. And even now, like I say these when I do interviews, and it'll be like, Bill, get back to work. Because it's something I go through, life. But when I go back and look, everything I wrote down in then 30 days, it didn't happen within that 30 days. But I left it to God and I said, I'm going to leave it there.
Right.
If you go back and look at it now, it would tell you the date that I was going to do this, Amazon this. I was going to sell out a special, all that. Everything. The premiere, I wrote about my premiere, everything.
Mm-hmm.
Everything happened. Did a premiere in Teaneck in my hometown at the movie theater. Sold it out.
You did a premiere of the special?
Of the special, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Before it came out, before it actually dropped, we did a premiere at in Teaneck. After we did the special, after it was edited, I did a whole premiere at the Teaneck movie theater and did that. But yeah, so my biggest thing is to turn up. You got to go ahead and invest in your stuff. Stop waiting and go full-headed, on yourself. Investing, so don't wait for it.
Stop waiting.
Yeah, stop waiting. Stop waiting. Definitely.
Okay. Thank you for that. And then the last question is, if you were writing your memoir right now, what would you name this chapter of your life?
This chapter is about to be he said he was going to do it. Everything I said I'm going to do, everything said I'm going to touch, everything that I speak is going to happen. And it was like, he said that. He said this was going to happen. I said I was going to be at the Apollo. It happened. Mm-hmm. I know this is what is going to happen. So he said that was going to happen. That's going to be the name.
He said that was going to happen.
Yep, come on.
All right. So without further ado, I think we did it. Thank you, Bill. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. This means so much. Not to be sad or anything like that, but this is also actually my father is no longer with us. His name was Bill.
Come on now.
And it's his birthday today.
Oh, man.
So I want to just dedicate this episode to my dad, Mr. Bill Johnson.
And I got Johnson in my blood too. I got Johnson.
What?
I'm dead serious.
Are we related?
That's my mom's side is the Johnson.
Stop it.
I'm dead serious.
Stop right now.
You might be my cousin.
We might be.
Come on
Who
now.
knows? Who knows? I gotta call your sister.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
on.
Oh my God. All right, y'all. Look. I didn't say it in the beginning of the episode. Make sure you follow Bill.
Yes.
Drop Instagram one
At
more time.
Billionaire Comedy 06 and everything else, www.billionairecomedy.com.
Bang, bang, bang.
Come on.
Follow, subscribe,
Yes.
smash that like button, as the kids say. Smash the likes, share, subscribe, tell a friend. Follow me, AlanaJ.tv. Follow the podcast, Act Up with AJ. Till next time. We out.
Peace.